Hello Year 1, welcome to Friday's maths lesson. Now this is our very last lesson of maths ever doing it on the Zooms. So I'd like to say a very big well done to you all for being brilliant home learning superheroes, not just heroes but superheroes. You have done so well to listen to all the teachers over your TVs or laptops or iPads or whatever it is you're using, and to be completing all your learning. We can't wait to see you in school on Monday. So let's get on with our final maths lesson. I'm just going to share my screen so you can see everything that we're going to be doing. We're going to carry on looking at our comparing the value of money. So we've looked at 1p coins, we've looked at 2p coins, 5p coins, 10p coins, we've looked at counting in 2s, 5s and 10s, we've looked at solving problems using all these coins, and today we're going to compare these coins using our more than and less than symbols and our equals to symbol. So today we're going to explore how do brilliant mathematicians compare the value of money. So to start with, I've got a game, the odd one out. You need to try and find the odd number. And then I'm going to introduce you to our more than, less than symbols. I know we've looked at them before, but just to refresh our memories and to use them with our money. And then you are going to have a go at problem solving and comparing the value of money. And finally, I'm going to talk to you about notes, because when we're talking about money, we don't just have coins, we also have notes. So I'm just going to introduce those to you at the end of the lesson. So for today, you're going to need a pencil, a whiteboard, a book, and of course, your brilliant brain. Now, let's play our first game. So on the screen, you can see there are 4 numbers, and one of these numbers is the odd one out because there's something different. I wonder if you could spot which one you think is the odd one out. I will give you the countdown of 5 to see if you can work it out. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. If you said 13, you're correct, because all the other numbers end in an 8. All the ones are 8s, but in 13, the ones is 3. So that's the odd one out. Now again, see if you can spot the odd one out for me. I'll give you a countdown from 5 again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Hopefully you spotted 13. In this time, if we look, all the 10s are in their 20s on these, but in this one here, the 10s is only got 1 lot of 10. These all have 2 lots of 10. Let's go on to the next one and give you a countdown again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Hopefully you spotted 91 was the odd one out. All the others are in our 10s when we're counting in 10s, and they all end in a 0. But 91 ends in a 1. So that's the odd one out this time. Here we go again, having a look. Which is the odd one out? This one's a bit trickier. I might look to think about counting in 2s maybe, or thinking about odd and even numbers. I'm going to give you a countdown from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hopefully you spotted 15. 15 is an odd number. These are all even numbers because they end in 2, 4 and 8. We can share those numbers out fairly, but 15 we cannot share out fairly. There would be 1 left over because it's an odd number. You could have spotted it that way, or you could have spotted 12, 14, should have been 16, 18. We're counting in our 2s. So 15 is the odd one out. Fantastic. Like I said earlier, we have been looking at money, and today we're going to look at comparing the value of these monies using our more than and less than and equals to symbols. So I've just left up here all the different coins for us to have a look over one more time. So we've got our 1p, our 2p, our 5p and our 10p. Now we've looked at these very closely this week. We haven't touched on these quite so much, but we have looked at them on Monday and we're going to have a look at them today. So we have our 20p, our 50p, our £1 and our £2. So there are 100 pennies needed to make this coin and 200 pennies needed to make this coin here. So you can imagine trying to carry around 100 pennies would be really tricky. So we can swap those with one of these, and that's much easier to hand over at the till. Now, what I'm going to show you now is these ordered and written with the correct symbols. So we have our 1p, we have our 2p, we have our 5p, our 10p, our 20p and our 50p. Now, these are all our p signs, okay? These are all our pennies. So this is where we use the p symbol on these numbers. When we go to the next two that I'm going to show you, the p doesn't stay. We take that away and we replace it with a pound symbol, because now we've got a pound. So we've got 100, which is why we've got that pound. So we've got £1 here. We could have 100 pennies, but we've got £1, okay, because that's much easier to handle. So this is the same value as 100 pennies, but it's easier to make it into a £1 coin so that we can hand over a £1 coin. And here we have our £2 coin. Out of all the coins, this is our highest value. So our lowest value is our 1p coin and our highest value is our £2 coin. And again, inside there, that would be made, no, not inside there, sorry, but that would be made up from 200 pennies. So again, could you imagine going to a till and the shopkeeper says, right, that's £2, please. And you sit and you start counting out 200 pennies. That would take you ages. So the best thing to do is to have a £2 coin and then you can hand that one over instead. Now, I would like you to have a go at putting all my coins in order from the smallest value to the least value to the greatest value, that biggest amount of money. Okay, so pause the screen now, have a go, and then come back and I'll show you the answer. Brilliant. Hopefully you have somewhere something that looks a little bit like mine. So I've got my 1p, my 2p, my 5p, my 10p, my 20p, my 50p, my £1 coin, and finally my £2 coin. Now, when we're talking about our more than, less than symbols, this is what this means here. If you imagine this symbol as being a hungry crocodile and think a hungry crocodile wants to eat the most, okay, so the hungry crocodile's mouth is always going to be open to the biggest or the greatest number or amount that there is. So if we're looking at this symbol is telling me that 5p is less than 10p, because my hungry crocodile is trying to eat my 10p coin. Now, I also talked about the equals to symbol, and here it is. If I had two 5p coins, that would be the same amount as one 10p coin. So I can use this symbol here, which means equal to, it's the same as. So I'm saying that two 5p coins is the same as one 10p coin. So now I'm going to have a go at popping my symbols into the correct position to show if they are more than, less than, or equal to. So I've got a 20p coin and a £2 coin. And I need to know, is my hungry crocodile going to eat the £2 coin? Is that the bigger value? Or is my hungry crocodile going to eat the 20p coin, which is the smaller value? And on the next one, I'm going to have a think, is my hungry crocodile going to eat that 10p coin because it's the bigger value, or is it going to eat the 5p coin? And again, below, I've got this time, I've got 2 coins here. So I need to, before I even try and work it out, I need to add up how much I have here. So I've got 1p, add 1p. So 1 add 1 is 2. So I know that that's a 2p. That's the same as 2p. And if I look here, I've got my 2p coin. So I wonder, am I going to use my hungry crocodiles or my equal symbol? Pause the screen, have a go at filling these out, and then I will give you the answer when you come back. Okay, hopefully yours looks like mine. So the top one, my hungry crocodile is eating that £2 coin because that's the biggest amount of money. On here, my hungry crocodile is eating the 10p coin because 10p is more than 5p. And down here, as I worked out, I might give you a bit of a clue on this one, I've got 2 1p coins, which makes 10p. So I've got my 2 1p coins, which makes 2p. So I've got my 2p and I've got a 2p coin. So that's equal to, because that's the same amount of money. Let's have a look at a problem and see if we can solve a problem by comparing money. The Tooth Fairy left some money for 2 children. So Abby, over here, got 50p and Scott got £1. Abby thinks she got more because her coin is bigger. So because it looks bigger, a 50p coin is bigger than a pound coin, she thinks she's got more money. Can you explain why Abby's gone wrong? Maybe have a think about when we've talked about before. How many 1p coins are there in a 50p coin? How many 1p coins are there in a pound coin? See if you can work out where you think Abby's gone wrong. I can understand her idea because it looks bigger. She thinks it is the most, but that's not always right, is it? So have a think about how you could explain using our more than and less than symbols. This is what I've done. So I have drawn Abby's 50p and I have drawn Scott's £1 coin. And then I've used my more than, less than symbols to show that actually £1 is more than 50p. So 50p is less than £1. So remember that hungry crocodile eats the greatest value. Okay, today I would like you to have a go at adding the symbols for more than, less than and equals to the sheet below. Now I know you don't have this sheet at home, so you could just write 20p and 10p on the other side, and then you could draw your symbol in the middle, or you could maybe draw the coins that I've got and write the number on each coin so you know how much it is. So once you've done that, in the middle you will need to add your more than, less than or equals to symbol. And remember that hungry crocodile always eats the greatest number. That will really help you to remember which symbol you need to use where. If you're going to do the yellow task, you have a similar task to the green task, but this time you have to add up some of the values before you can work out if it is more than, less than or equal to. And finally, if you're going to do the red task today, you've got some problems to solve involving money. So this is the first one. I'm going to read them out for you in case you need a little bit of help with the reading. The first one says, Mo has 1 coin in his hand. I have more than 2 pence, but less than £1. Ooh, what coin does Mo have? So what is the value of Mo's coin? What could it be? It's more than 2 pence, but it's less than £1. Is there more than one answer? Could Mo have a few different coins? See if you can work out which coins he could have. You could have a go at drawing his coins, and then you could write down maybe the value or the values that his coin could be. Your next problem says Ron has 9 2p coins. Joe has 3 silver coins. And Ron says, I must have more money because I have more coins. Is Ron right? Ron has 9 2p coins. So we might need to count in our 2s to work out the value that Ron has. And then Joe has 3 silver coins. So we need to think, what silver coins could Joe have? And do you agree with Ron? Could Ron have more, or does he have less? Can you talk about your answer and explain, maybe if you think, if you agree with Ron, why you agree with him? And if you don't agree with Ron, can you explain why you don't agree with him? And finally, I've given you an extra little challenge down here, which says, can I use 6 10p coins to buy a lolly that costs 60p? So if you think yes, can you tell me why? And if you think no, can you tell me why? Brilliant. Pause the screen here. If you want to flick back, remember earlier on I showed you the line of the coins with all the different values. That might help you to solve some of the questions. Pause here. Good luck with your tasks and come back at the end for the last piece of our maths lesson. Fantastic. So now we're just going to have a little time to talk about notes, because we've looked at how brilliant mathematicians compare all sorts of money when we're talking about coins, but we also have notes, and I'm just going to touch on this briefly now, and we'll come back to it in our summer term. So we have a pound coin. Now that is £1, and here this is a £5 note. So in this £5 note, I have 5 of these, and I could swap that for my £5 note. Again, like I've talked about with the pennies, it would be much easier to just have one note to hand over than it would to have 5 £1 coins. In this one here is our £10 note. So again, in here, this is the same value as 10 of these. And this one is our £20 note. And this one is the same value again as this. If there were 20 of these, it would be the same amount as this. So there are 20 £1 coins in here. And finally, we have our £50 note. Now this is the highest note that we could get, the highest value that we could get in a note, £50. And that means that there are 50 £1 coins is the same amount as this £50 note. Now I wonder, looking at the values, if you could pop those into order for me, because at the moment we've got a £50, a £10, a £20 and a £5. So I wonder if you could order those from smallest to greatest. So there they all are, all muddled up. Fantastic. Hopefully you worked it out, and it looks like mine does now. So we have a £5 note, a £10 note, a £20 note and a £50 note. Do you notice as we go up in the value, the number gets bigger? So we have 5, which we know is a smaller number than 10. And we know that £10 is a smaller value than £20. And we know that £50 is the most because that's got the greatest number. Well done, everybody. You have done so fantastic with all your home learning, and all the teachers at Upton Infant School are really, really proud of you. We can't wait to see you in class again on Monday. So I'm going to say goodbye for now, and I will see you in class on Monday. Bye.